It's Mark Husson's Astrology Hour. Time for you to expect something wonderful.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. It's Mark, and it is Mark Husson's Astrology Hour. It is 8 a.m. on November 10th. I'm coming to you live if it's about that time for you. It's about 11 a.m. on the East Coast. How are you? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Erica had a morning. We want to give her a big hug. That was pretty hard. She had some technical difficulties and only blamed Mercury a couple times. She was very gracious. That was really good. Look, that's what Mercury is for, right? We got to blame Mercury. If you can't blame Mercury, what's the point? Right? So we're gonna talk about it, as you know, and then it's so good to be here with you. Let me give a shout out to the room. So I got to look down. This is where the screen is. And give a shout out to the people who are so lovely to come. Hi, Lori, welcome. Thanks for being here. And Esther's in the house. Good to have you here, Esther. You guys are loving the turkeys. I'm so glad I hope they come back and play a little bit later. I think they will. And Terry Campbell's here, and Carolyn Ferris is here, and Linny. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. You're always so gracious. Happy, healthy life. Thanks for coming. Nadine, Diana, and Laura, thanks for being here. Hi. Christy's in the house. Christy, thank you. I thank you so much. I miss doing them too, Christy, but boy, my bank account doesn't hate it. Karen E., thanks for coming. Sarah and Jennifer and Ann, thank you guys. It's so good. Carla, Pamela, God, they're so sweet of you all to show up. Quelly, thank you. Many blessings. Jamie Queso, thanks for being here. Hi, sweetie. Thanks so much for coming. Jamie's a reader over at 1-2-Listen, as is Terry and Carolyn Ferris. Like these guys at 1-2-Listen now, we got a big thing happening in 1-2-Listen. I'll talk to y'all about it. How are y'all? We did it. We got to the retrograde. I am really liking this change energetically. And I want to talk to you all about it because there's been so much of this cycle building up. Now, I think this has a little bit to do with Mercury giving us a break. Personally, I do love the retrograde. I don't make that up. I'm not just being Mr. Pollyanna. I am actually love them. I don't care what happens during them, but I do feel for someone like me that does get a little ADHD on things, I slow down a little bit. I have a focus. I actually appreciate this retrograde for those moments. And we're going to talk about what we can do to stretch them out to make these moments even better. Like, I just see even the little glitches that we experience, and they come when the retrograde isn't here. They come when the retrograde is. It doesn't matter. What happens is we use them. And I have a million stories to talk to you about that. Now, a couple of things in the news. Those of you that are members, thank you from the bottom of my heart. How dear and kind and special for you to trust me that way, to put me on a membership list. That's so great. Now, those of you that have taken advantage of the John gift, seeing John, I'm getting feedback that's like, because, he's amazing. So we're only going to be doing that for a couple more weeks, and then I'm going to pull him back, but then we're going to offer other specials. So take advantage of getting a reading with John if you're a member. John is a Jungian astrologer. He's completely psychological. He's not one of those people that you go to and say, hey, what's my chart say? He will do that, but he really is somebody that you want to go because I have an issue I can't seem to wrestle with, or I'm wrestling with, and I need help. And he becomes the greatest ally that you could have on the planet. Like, he becomes an ally for you, which is a gift of Libra that I don't have. Honestly, don't. He has a neutrality that you see shine through, because no matter who you are, no matter what you do, it's not what you say to him that matters. It's that he sees this part of you, and it's kind of gorgeous. And it's the thing I adore about him, because I can go to him no matter what mood he's in, no matter what I left a mess, and and I go, I'm not feeling good about something, and he stops everything to say, let's take a look. And that's who he is. So we're offering that to members it's $100 to get a consultation with him. And those of you that have taken advantage of it, I know most of you have let me know. Thank you for that. You don't have to ever. I don't care. We don't talk about it. But it is something that I get warmed by because other people get to see the magic of him. And that's something that I get to be out here and doing all this, but a lot of people don't know the magic of John, and it's pretty extraordinary. So thank you for sharing that with me. Now, the other thing for members and for everybody, and this is what I want to talk to you about, the Jupiter in Cancer phase of life. Jupiter is in Cancer, okay? And it's not just because I'm a Cancer, but it is an important step in this sort of journey of Jupiter. Jupiter does this thing where it goes through seasons. Now it's going through the summer season, quote unquote, because it's for a whole year. It'll be in Cancer, the sign that brings in summer. And for everybody, it's this new focus, okay? Because it starts with Aries, where it's like this energy is all around and we're sort of putting things together and we're bursting out. But now Cancer centers it a little bit and brings purpose for everybody, not just for Cancers, but for everyone. This Jupiter cycle is about a focus, and it's about choosing something differently. And this is why I want you to take advantage of understanding a little bit about astrology and the cycles. This Jupiter cycle is about first looking at what isn't working and is working for you. And if you'll notice, you've already slid in a particular place. Okay, things have changed in a way, and I can almost guarantee this for everyone. They've changed in a way where it feels a little more solid, like who you are identity-wise, or what you're going for. Feels like a purpose is growing and festering up. And I want you to pay attention to that, because I think if you ride this wave, if you feed it, if you start diving into what you want, your own purpose, I think what you'll find is it grows and it actually takes root in a supportive and loving way, because that's what Cancer's energy basically represents. Now, so just a little bit of backtrack why I'm talking about this now. In 2001, I had met a woman online, an astrology woman. None of this is sexual, so take all that out of so when I say things like, I met a woman, I'm just like, none of it. I was online doing Hay House stuff, and this woman reached out to me and said, I love your astrology. I'm an astrologer. We should collaborate. And I went and looked, and she was like, yeah, this is really good. So I had bought the name astrologyforlife.com, and she joined with me, and we built this sort of like incredible network. Now, I didn't know at the time how she's no longer with us. She died. So I feel a responsibility to not be the only voice you hear. Like nobody can rebut this. So I have to be very responsible. I want to be very responsible. But I think she was a little bipolar, to say the least. And she would work morning, noon, and night and run rings around me, actually, and how she was building and what she was doing and the information that would come out. She was really remarkable. And I held the space for the emotional body, connecting to the people. And I made a connection to Hay House and asked them to look at our website. And Reed loved it, and he wanted to fly in and meet me. And long story short, her and Reed got together, and they decided I was no longer needed, and they booted me out. That's basically bottom line. And I was devastated. It was a very tough time for me. And there's a part of my own self-deprecation and self-doubt that said, I deserve that, right? I'm not as good. I wasn't as talented as she was. There's no question. I don't have the ability. I have to think things through to write them out. She was writing horoscopes every day, and she wasn't doing just one set. She was doing multiple sets of horoscopes every day. It was unbelievable. I didn't have it. I didn't have that. But I did have the website. I did have reports that we were selling, like 1-2 reports. And she didn't want it to do any of those. So when she got with Reed basically and her decided I was no longer useful, put me to the curb and said, we'll get you a book later. You just let us do this. And they did. And she took the reports and she was selling those for like a nickel. And for anybody, it was like, wow, he bought all that for her and he just showered her, and they really promoted this thing. And more time went by, and more I was hurt and slighted. And I wrote them and said, look, you guys, I'm happy to go, but I own that name, Astrology for Life, and I'd like to sell it to you. Like, you can have it. And he said, we don't need to buy it. Linda owns it. She's part owner with you. She owns it. And I said, no, she doesn't own it. That was all my money. I paid for it every month. I still pay for it. And they said, no, it's not true. And so I went on and proved them wrong, bottom line. So I'll just say this. Astrology for Life became this big controversy. And I had it. It was mine. And I did eventually launch One to Listen. And then I moved everything they had ever built in the middle of them building it, moved it over there, since I was like, okay, you're going to ignore the mouse in the room. This is what's happening. And my little Scorpio was happy. I was happy to do it. And so I built astrologyforlife.com and then hid it, just kept it for 20 years. Like, after I did that and I built One to Listen, I kept it and hid it. And now I'm back to, I was doing some playing with AI and I was asking ideas and I was building a website. And one of the ideas that came on the website was Astrology for Lifestyle. And I was like, oh my God, I have astrologyforlife.com. I've kept it after all these years, 20 years. And I used it and I have it now. I reactivated it and it is now a store online where I get to do artwork and I get to sell. And it's like I make $1 an item. So this isn't a sales pitch to you guys. I don't care, but I'm putting it together and it's a store and I'm launching it kind of right now under a retrograde on purpose because I wanted to do that with you and put Astrology for Life on .com, like announce it. So astrologyforlife.com, and it is like, you'll see it, it's a work in progress and it is mine. And if you do place an order on it and there's a problem, you just write me. I mean, it's me. That's it. It's just me. And so I wanted to share that with you, like under a retrograde, that I started this thing and we're going to see what happens. I've been having a ball with it. It's very hard. The company that I work with, Shopify, gives you a special AI to work with. So while I'm working, I just go over here and type, what do I do to get the code word and categorize? And it tells you, like, here's what I would do. Okay, I am abusing AI. I know it's controversial to use AI, but for a lot of people, and I don't know where I sit with all of it, except I'm not going to sit here and think I know everything. So I'm using what I can while I have it. So I wanted to announce under the retrograde, I'm launching astrologyforlife.com. Now that might last a week. It might last forever. And what I believe happens when you launch something under a retrograde, I believe that any changes and big changes that happen will happen under retrogrades. Okay, so I'm announcing it. It's astrologyforlife.com. It came with a big history, one that was a source of great pain for me, but also, like the Course in Miracles would say, the greatest source of love is the greatest miracle is where an ancient hatred, a site of ancient hatred becomes a site of great love. And so I have since worked through a lot of the pain and torture that did for me, because I'm so grateful for my Saturn in the first, because I think Saturn slows you down in maturely. It makes you deal with life later because you have to deal with so much early. And so when I look back at what I didn't know then and how much it hurt me, what they did, and I don't blame them. I mean, you're, like I said, you're hearing my version of the story, because if Reed was sitting here and Linda was sitting here and they were telling you exactly what happened, they'd have their version. But for me, it was devastating. It was heartbreaking. I was depressed for months. And I didn't know that I could have an opening, because it felt like they took everything I had, right? That's just me being a Cancer and being like, being my big baby self. But I was hurt. I was like, I remember John coming to talk to me and saying, I think we've got to figure this out. Like, you got to snap out of it. And I was like, I just don't know the point anymore. Like, I always felt like the person who meant the most to me was Salieri in the Mozart movie, the one that was always jealous of him. and always said like he had talent, but he was the king of mediocrity. And I always felt like I'm the king of mediocrity. And so when I met this person and I had this stuff and they were all like, yeah, she's great, you're kind of mediocre, it fit. And I was mad about it. Like it fit my psyche. And so I was like, okay, but then you learn, it's not even about that. It's not a measurement. It's about your joy. It's about your happiness. It's about what you can do in life in the face of adversity. Like, and that's why I harp on you guys so much to never lose the connection, like never lose that inner thing. Like, and I know it varies for everybody who that is or what that is, but there is an indelible, inextricable, never changing thing of that's immovable inside of us that I think if we can feel that every once in a while, if we can just remember that every once in a while, it links us in to a remembrance that this isn't all there is, number one. And number two, you can't evaluate, you can't know who you are based on information like this. My brain isn't going to get it, right? It's something else. And so that's an evolution. And I think that this Jupiter cycle and this Mercury cycle, and then all the planets. Now, Jupiter is going retrograde too here very soon. Let me see. Jupiter tomorrow. So Jupiter joins the ranks of Mercury, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune in their retrograde motion. I don't think I've missed anything, but if I have, I'll get it. I'm going to put it up on the screen here for us. So now the retrogrades, which used to always happen in the spring, are happening right now in the fall. And so if you are a Capricorn, now think about this. I'm going to bring the screen up and let me check and see how your comments are, because I know I went into a little chat there. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm reading and laughing like, wait a minute, you're on the air. Thank you, Lionheart. That's so sweet. I've never gotten a true astrology reading before. My reading with John was spectacular. Lenny, John is phenomenal. Oh, you guys are great. You're so sweet. He is. I mean, those are compliments about him that he deserves 100%. He's amazing. Thank you all for the love that you're sending him. And then let's see, Lionheart, thank you. Big hugs. I appreciate that so much. E. O'Neill, hi, good morning. Welcome. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Lori. Lori, thank you. That's very sweet. Lori signed up. Hi, Terry. How wonderful, Mark. That Jupiter in Cancer is so happy and blesses. Thank you. Hey, Lori. Lori is teaching very special classes. She's joining with Catherine N on One to Listen. These people are really working it together to get us as a group together to change the way we think and to change our experiences of feeling. And I've invited her always to come, and anybody that has an event that's happening that you are in my room and you feel like you want to share, like this event might be something you want, please, this is what we are. We're a community room. And Lori's going to post, it's whenever she's ready, whenever they get the class together, their classes. And I just highly suggest you take a peek because they're kind of extraordinary and they're recorded and you get sent them and everything. What a story. Oh, hi, Serena. Thank you for sharing. I'm very excited for you with the new stage of something. It's clearly so close to your heart. Yeah, thanks, Serena, baby. I miss you. I hope you're doing well. I'll have to call and we'll connect. Cosmic Miss. Hi, are you taking astrology questions? Definitely post your questions down. I won't promise anything, but I blather and I'm definitely like open to hear if you have some questions. I can't necessarily run your chart, but I can tell you this: after my show, Kat comes on and she does do psychic readings and you can post your questions there. But if I can answer it because you've given me good information that I can use, I'll do it. Absolutely. I don't want you to feel that you can't. Let's see. Kathleen, I loved hearing you on Hay House. It's a treat to find you again. Your voice is so reassuring. I want to hug you. Thank you. Hi, Sarah. I started listening to you on Hay House. Yeah, man, I love those Hay House years. They were magical for me. I found my life there. I found my voice there. I was thrown into radio because Reed hated astrology, right? And I made a deal with him. Just let me do this book, please. One book is all I'm asking you to do, but give me one way. And he said, no, like no advance, no nothing. I was not his favorite person in the world. I don't know why. I mean, I thought we would he was a Virgo. I have Jupiter and Virgo. I thought it was going to be this great connection. But I do think, honestly, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything that I don't know for sure. My feeling was I wasn't making him any money. I was new. He was really around Doreen, Sylvia Brown, and Wayne Dyer were his big bucks, and that's who he loved. And so he said, people don't like astrology. There's too much astrology. And I was like, there's a reason. There's a glut of astrology. But he wouldn't get under me. So I said, just give me one way. Don't give me an advance. Just give me one way to promote it. And my business, my 1-2 Listen business, just that. He said, okay, I'll give you a radio show. It became their number one show for 7 years. Louise loved it. Louise called all the time. I think I told you last week, she's the reason I got her to say the F word online. That was like my big history. I got her to cuss. And I loved her, man. I did. I loved Louise. She made me feel normal, Louise. And then when they sort of cut me back and put Robert O'Hotty on an hour show, but gave me a 30-minute show, she protested and made them change that. And it was like, oh, okay, thank you. I didn't complain. I was just like, okay. But she said, why is he only getting a half hour? He's the best thing you got. And they moved it like that. But it was always a fight. But thank you for coming from those days, man. Those are the days. God bless you. Hi, Denise. Thank you. You're so sweet. I appreciate that. Thanks, Karen E. It was painful at the time, but it's like, yeah, who hasn't? We've had our pain, right? It was the best thing that ever happened to me. It was just so freaking hard. It was so deeply hard, but we all, who doesn't have a hard story to tell, right? I just get the blessing of you all listening. But the gift of it was, I think it defined me truly. It helped me. 2 major events in my life that hurt deep, cut like rocks. But I think that's how Scorpios kind of get it. I'm not a Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio moon rising in Saturn in Scorpio. I got a bunch of Scorpio. And I think that's how we learn. It's like the hurt just gets in and it cuts. And then you're like, and it takes a minute to heal. I'm usually not somebody that dwells in that, but this one threw me for a loop. And I felt on every single level and cell of my being that I made a misdirection. Like I trusted too deeply. And I do have this issue of trust. Like, wait, I just trust. I'm never going to apologize for that because I do love that quality. It's a little naive, but I do trust. And I trusted her. And we did everything we could to keep this woman really happy. I mean, she was a heavy smoker. So we would get her cigarettes for her from Colorado and send them cartons. Because that's how we knew to love, because that's all she wanted. For like, could you help me do this? And we did. Anyway, yeah, thank you. And don't feel bad. It was like, I love that because I want to share those points with you because I'd like you all to understand the story behind it is that we get to heal and we get to find where that weakness is and where that wound is. And as a Saturn person, which is like a Capricorn, if you have strong Saturn, we learn later. Like I'm just now seeing that it's okay to be in front of you and talk or to start a store. That it doesn't matter if it ever works or doesn't work. It doesn't matter. My identity isn't in it. But what is in it is this, like I'm doing something I love and I'm doing something I get to share. And if it's people see something they like, great. If not, whatever. You know what I mean? It's just sort of like my ego's not tied into that anymore like it used to be so heavily. Dear God. Oh, you guys are so beautiful. Let's see. Thank you, Erica. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. 1119, healing your family relationships. That's right, Lori. Your wisdom and way of surfing life's waves is inspiring. You're so sweet. Thank you. I appreciate the language. I don't know that language, but I trust that it's something beautiful. Thank you, Carla. That's very sweet. I'm glad you made it, Liz. Okay, you guys. So here, let's get down to why we're here. Really, astrology and what's happening in the sky. So I'm going to bring the big screen on, and I got my magic planet disappear gun, and we're going to go through a little bit of visual what's happening. And members got a little taste of this yesterday, but now you guys are going to get a taste of it. This is a chart which, hold on and watch. You see all those planets there? They're going to disappear here. Let's see. There it is. They're going to disappear here in a minute. There they go. Okay. Now I'm going to bring them up and let you see. This is the sun in Scorpio. That's where we are right now. And this is the moon in Cancer. And that's where we are right now. The moon's in Cancer. The sun is in Scorpio. Those of you that are students of astrology, that might mean something. Do you know what they have in common? Cancer and Scorpio? They're water signs, right? And so there's a smooth flow of energy with the moon and the sun. And that moon is at 28. Those of you that are studying astrology know that that means at about 9:34 Pacific time, 10:34, it goes into Leo. It's going to change signs here soon. And so we're enjoying this little watery moment. Now, let me bring in the other planets. I want you to get a feel for just how many planets are doing what. So I'm going to turn on. It's going to bounce around for a minute, but I got to get to my other screen. Hold on. And we're going to turn on here. I'll just bring it here so we can do them all at the same time. So we're going to turn on Mercury. There's Mercury. And look, it's red. If it's in red, it's going backwards. Now, here's what I want to do. I want to show you the future by bringing Mercury here. And I'm going to move it forward one day at a time. And I want you to pay attention to the numbers, okay? I want you to pay attention to the number here, 6, and the position of Mercury. So let me move it real quick. All right, so I'm going to bring it close. Let's see. That's about right. Now, keep an eye on it. This is tomorrow, day after, day after. Look, that number just now changed to 5. So we're going backwards in numbers. It was 6. Now it's 5. Now, look, I'm going 2 days later. This is the 15th of November. It's at 4. But look what it's doing. It's aiming toward the sun. Okay, then it's still going backwards. There's 3. Now it's going faster because every day it's going to change that number instead of every 2 days. Look at that. It jumped down to 1. It's really picking up momentum here. And it's about to meet up with the sun. It's at 0 Sag. This is on the 18th of November. The 19th, it's at 29. The sun's at 27. And then, let's see, the 20th, it's at 1. Okay, come on. Oh, wait a minute. Did that it? Oh, that's it. Wait a minute. Hold on. That's not right. There it is, 28. I was looking at the moon thinking it was the sun. There it is at 28 right here. I guess I could take off the moon so you don't get confused. Look at those 2 planets. That is always something that happens during a retrograde. Always, always, always. Mercury hits the same point in the sky as the sun. And that point is November 20th. That's November, write down November 20th because I'll be talking about it too. That day, Mercury and the sun connect, and that's called the combustion Mercury, but it is called the beginning of the Promethean cycle. That is the cycle where Mercury now, that retrograde energy, no longer teaches us the past. It frees us up for the future, the Promethean cycle. Now we get to look ahead. So, if you're in sync with what Mercury is doing, if you're in sync, you get to know that this cycle here until the 20th, let's take care of business that's already happened. Let's review. Let's get things. Doesn't mean don't launch a new business because a lot of businesses start under the retrograde. It means take care of things that, like, now I got to go back to my store and I'm changing the artwork up a little bit and I'm improving it. And so I'm going to be working on that. I'm going to be looking at some of the past 2 weeks, some of the hurts, some of the things that I have left undone. I'm going to work on those. I'm going to make a new commitment. Like I used to be, remember how I was doing the gambling and the gaming site? I've changed all that. I feel like something changed in me and also something changed on YouTube where they're coming down on people who are, putting it up on the screen too much, but that had nothing to do with my decision. My decision was like, oh my God, I've been leaning into this instead of leaning into something else. I'm using Mercury to understand that. Now let's look. Mercury's going to keep going, and let's take it all the way back till it turns black. And there it goes. It just turned black. at 20 degrees of Scorpio on the 29th. So Mercury goes direct, just for the record, officially on Saturday the 29th at 9:38 in the morning. So it stops moving backwards Saturday the 29th. Between now and Saturday the 29th, I think we should keep a notebook of the gorgeous, amazing things that we have grown and got to learn under this retrograde. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I do not think Mercury is here to hurt us. And I don't think it's actually doing anything except we're passing it in a way that is making it look like it's moving backwards. That's all that's happening. Now I'm going to add other planets in here so you can see the retrograde motion of everything. I'll put Saturn on. See, Saturn's down here. It's red. It means it's retrograde. Uranus, it's red. It's retrograde. What I mean by red is the number. Neptune is red. It's retrograde right there. And that's it. I think that's everything. Let me see. Oh, no. There's one more. Jupiter is black. Tomorrow will be red. So this is the whole group of retrograde planets. And if you'll notice, Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune are backwards. They're all at these 29 degree points. 25, 25, 29, 29. Look at that. They're all related. So that energy is really like archetypal energy. Like we're building something brand new. And this retrograde motion is letting you get that foundation, make sure it's solid as a rock. And I know each of you, if you look, there is something new, like a new shell is being shed. And so I'm really excited about it. Now, just to take a look real quick, right now, Mercury and Mars, Mercury's still going backwards, is going to hit that Mars, right? So whenever Mars is involved in something, it's a little aggressive. And so if you have Mercury, Mars, I'm going to come back on the screen now. Don't squint so you don't get scared. Here we go. Mercury and Mars, when they come together, is kind of aggressive. It gets to the point where you could find yourself losing your temper. You could find yourself losing patience. You could find yourself overthinking. If you are a bipolar kind of person, this might be really tough for you in a manic sense. I'm just saying, if you're going like this, you can't sleep at night, it's a little restless, that's this. That's that energy there, that Mars Mercury energy. And Mercury's going backwards over Mars, and it's going to do it again. So this is also about an issue. So it's about something that's been bugging you. So take a look at that. Take a look at the things that are going on. I mean, I'm watching an evolution, like in the world, in my own life. I feel I'm extremely excited. Now, if you're not excited, I get it. I mean, everybody has fears we have to deal with in our cycles that we go through. But if you're not excited, then maybe let me just suggest you bring some of that energy personal. Look at your personal life. If you're not excited because of what's happening out here, that's just easy to manipulate. That's easy to get the wrong story in your head or whatever it is that you're afraid of, okay? Come home with it a little bit. See if you can't find that connection. I feel like a preacher when I do this. My grandfather was a priest, so I guess I have a little bit of that in me. But if you can, we're told, and we've seen it, we've all experienced it, I believe, a little place that where the world doesn't rock our world, where we are solid as a rock, where we are able to feel some compassion, okay? And if you can't get compassion for the world out here, see if you can't maybe feel the compassion that comes at you on the inside. We always think about it like it's, I have to extend compassion. Maybe it's just you open up and receive a little compassion. Maybe, like, you guys are really good at doling it out. You really are. You're lovely. You're the sweetest people in the world. But maybe you're not that way to yourself. Maybe when you take that moment and you go, oh God, you know, just look at all the fireworks and that cute. It reads my hands, as you all are getting used to. Pull in that energy enough to see if you can't use Mercury to find that garden inside of you that receives compassion, that receives a little understanding, that doesn't care if you're on a rampage. It doesn't care if you've been rampaged on. It's just still. Retrogrades are amazing for that moment. I can't do it for very long. And when I do it, it's in the mornings. I feel like the dogs are sort of like, they sleep with me. And so there's this moment where how much I love them comes up, and how that little, like I put my, like, it's so cute. Hobby comes up and he goes, like in the middle of the night, hits my shoulder like 3 times. All I have to do is raise it. He just wants under the blanket. And those are priceless moments, right? And that kicks me off, because if then I wake up, if I'm awake enough where I get to just think for a minute of like that kind of love that I'm aiming at him might be coming at me. That's just a technique I'm suggesting to you. Think about it a little bit under these retrograde moments, because retrograde is about the ability to take in. See, when they're going forward, that's what's happening. We're forward. We love being forward. We love being forward motion people, right? What's next? What's going on? What's the future look like? And so I'm like that. I love that. I don't want to be dwelling on the past. I don't, I tell you my stories to hope they tie into the moment. But mostly I want to be in like this future thing. I want to like look ahead. So I don't do a lot of the be here now thing. But when I can be here now, when I can take that moment and sort of just like a minute and see that rock, I have this image of a rock inside of me. I hope it's not a kidney stone, but I have an image of a rock, because it was what kept me going in one of the like worst times before this one. It kept me going, that rock, knowing that I could be on this rock and be okay. And it was ever stable for me. And so that rock is always there. It never stops. And I feel like that's what our subconscious mind is, this thing that steadily knocks on the door, that taps on the door. And no matter what, sends us a signal, sends us an omen, sends us, when you pull a tarot card, I've just bought a new deck. I don't use them, but I love to put them in a new box. And when I'm bored, when I'm talking to John or mad at him or something, I'm like, here's a card. And, of course, he'll use it to tell me why the universe agrees with him that I'm an idiot. No, but I love them. I love pulling a card and seeing what the subconscious mind is trying to tell me. And then struggling with the conscious mind to figure that out is beautiful. It's like, oh, that's like, what a gift. And if you can get rid of all the beliefs about it and all the why is it working and what is that at work and all the superstition around it, you basically have a moment in time where you're using your conscious mind to say, this is the supportive message that's coming down the pike. Mercury retrograde. That's a gorgeous time. That's when you get most psychic. One of the things I do, I have the Ghostbusters shirt, with that big cancel sign he's coming out of, which I never got how brilliant that is. But that cancel sign, the circle with the slash, I use it all the time. When I have a psychic hit of something that I don't want to happen, bam, I cancel. I'll drop it right on it. It is so powerful, you guys. I'm not kidding. I mean, it got to the point under retrogrades where I was like knowing who would call, knowing who I would talk to, knowing what, like an event. And the reason I'm not a psychic is that I can't make that happen. It's just sort of like it's a random act of psychosis. And so, but if I do get an image that I don't like, I cancel it, And so this is the time when those kind of things have the most power to me. Okay, let me check on you guys. We're doing good on the time. Erica, you can always go to the top of the hour if you need it. Since we're doing the YouTube thing, I don't need that 5 minutes. That used to be when we were produced. So I'm telling you now in case I forget to write you later. But you can always have till the top of the hour, girl. It never offends me or affects me. Let me check on y'all. Who's more affected in Venus? Okay, 8th house synastry. The woman as the Venus and 8th house as the man. Okay, I think you're saying 8th house, right? Cosmic Mist. Let's talk about that. First of all, your Venus, because you're a woman, doesn't necessarily give you most access to it. Venus, everybody does their Venus, depending on their childhood or their kind of how they oriented. Like I was really encouraged in my Venus because it's in the 8th of, I have Venus in the 8th too, and it's Gemini. And I was always encouraged to go play with yourself. Go talk to somebody else. And I was always curious and I needed it and I used it. So I don't know that in a synastry that Venus always represents the woman. It represents what we like. It represents, in my personal opinion. Now, Mars is what we do to attract and to seduce and to achieve the goals we want. And Mars is the more manipulative one. Venus is the more passive one. So I see why you think, since Venus is the more feminine in its approach, the receptive, that women might be more likely to use it. But honestly, I think because you're in a woman's body, your Venus is natural to you, but the Mars might be where you're taking action a little stronger. So I don't know if it's gender or specific, even though I do understand where the question comes from. I do think it's a lot of it is the person. Were you encouraged with your Venus, or was it shut down? If the male came from a heavily influenced, like, macho family that were being male meant something, particularly, then that Venus might be projected onto you. Where we project our Venus onto somebody. So if somebody's projecting that Venus, it just depends on the who. It's hard to make a generic statement like that. That's why astrologers want to talk to you. They want to know, were you? And then they ask, and then they dive in, because it's hard to say just right off the bat, did this person have a strong Venus or not? And is it projected? So we like to project our Venus. If you're a man, we like to project the Venus onto people that we find attractive. And then sometimes that gets reclaimed pretty quickly. And that's the whole point of projection, that we project it out. And then as the person starts, we get to know the person, the projection starts fading. And it's in that moment of the fading projection that we make a decision. Truly. I mean, that's what falling in love is. That's what romantic love is. We have the projections all out there, like they have everything I want. And as we get to know them, that strength that I saw as stability and maleness and protectiveness turns out to be stubborn and stuck. I'm like, the projection gets reclaimed, and now I'm seeing the person differently. And then I have to make a decision. Do I have other characteristics in here that I like? Let me see how y'all are doing. Thank you, Denise, again. I don't know if I said it first time. Hi, Marty. Thank you. Oh, Marty, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Hi, Drew Ann. You're in the house. Sun in Scorpio. Scorpio moon's intensity. Truth rings through Scorpionic perception. Scorpios benefit when they open a little more. They do. They really do. Hi, Judith. I love Louise. Attended several I Can Do It conferences here in Florida. First met her in Chicago before that. First heard you on Hay House too, Mark. You guys, you came back from Hay House. That was a lot. It was a wow, wasn't it? Oh my God, what a ride. Every time you all say you heard me on Hay House, I have insanely fond memories of that. I loved my Tuesdays, Mark's Power Peak Hour. I loved them so much. And then they started charging people, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whatever. Okay, Mark. Oh, thank you. She said, you are beautiful. I'm just reading it. Thank you, Denise. This may be your best show ever. I'll be watching again, absorbing and reflecting, learning and loving. Grateful to you. That is so sweet. Hi, Kay. Thank you, Denise. Big kisses. Watch me pole dance. Good day, Mark. Lori. Hi, Lori. Have fun. I love that title. What shirt cancel looks like? I'm an idiot. That's how I found out about you too. Hay House. Used to listen to your show all the time. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Lori. Yeah, you guys, that's why, who knew that I had a radio person in there? And I used to start my shows, my mom used to say, you have a face for radio, which is what made this so hard to do. She was teasing. I use that as a joke. She never said that. But coming video wise is very scary to do. And I remember thinking it has been 20 years since these suckers have seen me. And I'm like, just do it. And then when you see people and you get past, you realize how narcissistic it is to be afraid. And I don't mean that for everybody. I mean, for me, it's like, you're so special that you can't let people see that you're getting old and whatever, you've aged. It's like, get over it. Come on out. Let's have some fun. And that's the kind of self-love that I don't think I had in my younger years. And that's the gift of Saturn. And that's why if you're a Capricorn or if you have some planet close to Saturn, this stuff happens so much more powerfully when you're older. It's so much more fun because what you realize, I have nothing to lose. What am I going to lose? Somebody not looking at me? All you got to do is turn the video off. It's like, so it's a beautiful thing to know that you're a late bloomer. And I have a couple of young friends who have very strong Saturns. And do you know how awful it is to hear when you're 35 that wait till you're 50? Oh my God. I mean, I was listening to a guy today who's 41 years old telling his people that he's streaming with that he is over the hill. Now, what else is there for him now that he's 41? So I forget that was the perception. I have felt 60 my whole life. I really have. I am not surprised to be here at this age. But so when I hear that, like, poor thing, they want to bury themselves at 40. And I'm like, oh, dude, I mean, who's going to listen to you? Say life starts at 70. It's like, nah, who cares? It doesn't matter. What's the point in debate? What's the point in argument? What's the point in getting your point across? What's the point in trying to change somebody's mind? There isn't. There's no point. If that's the point, then you're going to lose every time because all they have to do is not agree with you and you lose. But if the point is to show joy, that you can be over 60 and be joyful, you can be over 60 and start a little store. Yeah, I mean, whatever. In other words, be happy. It's the best sell that you have. It's the best advertisement. That you can smile, you can laugh, you can still do what you do, you can learn something new. It's the best. But selling somebody on it, that's why the whole, if you have a religion that you're excited about, it doesn't work to sell somebody on it, because what they get to see is, my neighbor said that he wanted to walk with me. He's adorable and dearly, I think I've shared with you, he's such a deep man of God, right? I mean, that's what he says. I am a man of God. And when I said, oh my God, that's so beautiful, he said next time we got together that he was sure I was going to run, that most people run when he says that to them. But I heard he's simply a man who loves God. He wasn't saying you should love him too. He was like, I'm a man who loves God. And that's when I knew I had crossed the line of tolerance, of acceptance. He's a man who loves God. And he wanted to walk with me. I said, I go at night. I go late. Like, it's 5 a.m. And I have a hat. John got me a hat with a flashlight on it. Look at this. It's crazy. Look at this thing. Look at that. And so I put it on and I walk the boys, right? And so he said, I'd like to meet you. Will you just text me? And I go, yeah. So 5 o'clock, I texted him and I said, hey, I'm walking. I see this flashlight up the road coming down, aiming at me. He's meeting me to walk. I mean, it's so cute. And our talk, he mentioned maybe his church once because he had a story to tell. But he was just like, what's it like for you when you wake up? Do you bake bread? How do you get your starter going? I used to do that. I mean, okay, that would never happen to me in a million years. I would be agenda focused. What do you really want? He is so but energy, like, I do believe in the immediate chemical reaction with somebody. He just is a nice person. He's married. He has grandchildren, and he just, I don't know. I think what I think sometimes is they like my grandchild in water. But I mean, and it was like, I loved the company at 5 a.m. I felt so much less afraid. It was a moment, but my point is, you get to a point where it's just somebody, if you love what you do it. You don't have to sell anybody on it. And he was reflecting a guy that was happy in his life, and I was reflecting a guy that was happy in his. And it was a good moment. It was good. Like, nobody tried to sell anything. And it was like, I didn't sell anything. I don't try to sell people on astrology. You think I do? And anyway, I just wanted to say that. We have 5 minutes. Let me see if y'all have any questions, and we'll get rolling. Thank you, Liz. She said, you look the same to me. I feel the same. You know, I saw that postcard once. We used to have a little card, Mary Ingbard or something like that card. And she said, we're all the same age on the inside. We never age. I love that. It's like, we're all the same. I mean, all my years, you can tell that the soul doesn't age. Thank you, Jamie. She said, oh my God, I will be in a couple more years. Christine, I'm here. Okay, Christine. Thank you, Christine. Another one. She just wrote her book, numerology book. I'm going to be writing the back on it, or writing on the back of it. But we have some talented people over at 1-2. Listen, you guys, Thursday is 1-2 day, before I forget. Thursday is when the computer randomizes everything for the psychics. If you have somebody you want to talk to, might be a good chance. Hi, Deb. I called in and talked to you on Hey House. You guys. Oh my God. What? I love Mercury retrograde. Thank you. Look at people from the past showing up, you guys. This is so sweet. Oh my God. You're going to make me a little teary. The older you get, the younger you realize everyone is. Let me tell you something. That is so brilliant. Every phone call I make, I tell John they were 14. It is so funny. It is so funny that everyone is younger now. And now I'm the one they're asking, do you want me to help carry your bags to the car, to the car? And I'm like, my inner mind is going, hell yeah. But my outer pride is like, oh, no, no, no. It's so funny. 49 days left of 49. Oh, Tara, I love it. Oh, that's such a great age, sweetheart. I love that. We're all 21 in the dark. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that, maybe 22. But yeah, Karen. Yep, found you through Hay House listening to Denise Lynn. Oh, Denise was the only person who befriended me. The only person who befriended me at my I Can Do It event. Yeah. I mean, I'm so awkward, you guys. I had nobody. I didn't know. They dropped me off. I had to call Hay House and say, am I allowed to eat the food in the hotel? Like, I didn't know what to do. Nobody. And she said, oh, yeah. Help yourself. Like, they had a little mini bar. I wanted a cookie. I was terrified. Broke always. And so Denise, they were all going to this rooftop party where they were, worshiping at the altar of Robert Owato, right? And so Louise greets us at the door. I'll tell you another time. Anyway, Denise Lind came, and it was about as gentle and loving and kind and respectful and sweet. I don't know how. I don't have enough ways to say thank you, Denise Lind, because what do you do? I'm by myself. I don't know these people. I wrote Love Scopes, which, the guy in charge, CEO, hates. And, I'm on an elevator with, I see his face. He wrote the Hypnotism Mind books. But anyway, next week, we'll talk. I was older then. I'm younger. I'm younger than that. Saturn is in Capricorn. Yeah, amen. I'm no longer the youngest person in the office. Welcome to the club, Shelly. I love that. I know. I was always the youngest. I was the baby of the family. I'm used to being the youngest. And now it's like, okay, I spoke with you on Hay House many years ago. Suzanne, look at you guys, proving me that Mercury is an amazing planet. So, okay, 1 minute left. This week, you guys, so please, Wednesday, tomorrow, veterans, God bless you. Thank you for your service. On the 12th, 1-2 day, all the prices are randomized. Wednesday, all the prices are randomized. And you know what? It goes into Virgo that day, the moon, and we'll be busy because Virgos, y'all love a frugal sale. I know that. Donna said, Mark, I purchased your book back in the day. Loved it. Found recently going through. Oh, Donna, thank you. I love that. She bought the book back then. They did it in every language. They did Turkey, Vietnamese. I have one in, I don't know, maybe Swahili, but they never did Spanish. I was like, why are y'all not doing Spanish for my book? I mean, it's so cute. Listen, thank you. You guys are beautiful and you mean the world to me. I don't know what I would do if I couldn't do my show with you. Thanks for showing up for me. Kat is coming up next. I have her address when I go into the stream ending screen, but I don't know how much I can share in terms of like through the screen, my adoration, my love, my respect, and so much thanks and gratitude for who you are. Thank you so much for being a part of this. If you're interested to be a member, just hit the join button. If you're not, it's okay. I totally get it. All right, you guys, big hugs. Thank you all. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Let's get this stream. I'm going to get Kat's address up here, and we'll get the outro music, and I'll be here next week. Thank you.